Hey everybody, it's Eduardo Jackson, creator, CEO, and founder of the Cinema Draft Game, coming at you with this micropod as we go over the weekend box office results and take a look at some of the call sheets that were submitted for last weekend's game. So let's get started. Let's go here to Box Office Mojo. Hey Box Office Mojo, we really appreciate y'all. So basically, it was all about the girl on the train. I actually saw it. Feel free to check out my review at medium.com/@cinemadraft. Really enjoyed it. Really good psychological thriller. So with a really excellent marketing campaign too, I might add. They had just enough mystery, didn't really give away much of the plot, and really kept you on edge throughout the movie. So it's not surprised it did the business that it did. 24.5-ish million on 3,144 screens. Miss Peregrine's had just under a 50% drop in the second weekend, so it's kind of expected. So it did all right there. Deepwater Horizon held stronger than I thought it would, so it actually must be good. I think I might have to go check it out at a matinee, maybe tomorrow or Wednesday. Magnificent Seven still doing its thing, chugging along to probably $100 million gross in a few more weeks. Storks did its thing. The Birth of a Nation. This was the high variance pick in the podcast last week. This was the one where I said we'll either do boom or bust, and kind of busty. 7 million on 2,100 screens. If you put it on your call sheet, most likely you did not end up winning. It just kind of took up space, considering you had all these other ones in wide release that were doing more for you, probably at a cheaper price too. Middle School, the worst years of my life, was a bit of a bust, only 2,400 screen average. It was on a ton of screens, didn't really connect with the audience. It looks like its budget at estimated 8.5 million, isn't too bad. So it's not like Lionsgate is going to lose money, but it didn't do what we thought it would. Sully, old reliable, hanging in there, well over 100 million now. Just doing its thing at 3,000 screens, chugging along, not making a big splash to the box office, but it's been out for like a month and a half, so it's just doing what it needed to do. Masterminds surprisingly came up on several people's call sheets, and it actually made it's not doing what you would think it would do. I mean, look at the paltry 12.8 million overall gross, but it was on some winning call sheets, amazingly enough. Maybe it was the price of the actors on it. And then The Queen of Katwe added 17 screens this weekend. Not really burning it up at the box office, but as far as limited releases go, it is the top of its class. As you can see, 1,200 screens, and it outgrossed all the other limited release type movies. So that's your top 10 in the box office. Let's go take a look at some call sheets. All right. So we are inside the game. So this is what you're going to see right now. If you sign on after the games are done, you want to click completed and take a look at some of the contests that have completed. And let's go straight to the feature presentation. The Big Daddy. See what's going on here. So basically, Fredo was our winner again. Congrats, Fredo. Good job. He came in second last week, but this time he wasn't messing around. He decided he was going to go for the gusto and made it happen. Good job, Fredo. So let's take a look at his call sheet. So basically, and I think we went over this in the preview last Friday, he had what I figured was a fairly balanced attack. He had his headliner Max of The Girl on the Train with Emily Blunt and Haley Bennett. He headliner Max Deepwater Horizon, which had a stronger hold than I thought it would. And also he mixed in another wide release in Storks, headliner. He's actually headliner heavy. That's probably what led him to his victory this week, was that he had 9 of his 10 actors were headliners, and it looks like he was just basically, salary punting on Masterminds here with Kevin J. O'Connor just to get his 10 actors in there. And, for his platform release, he had, a headliner in Liam Hemsworth on The Dressmaker. And it's just a really solid, balanced attack. There are several strategies we went over on Friday. There was My Stars and Scrubs. There was, There was basically bunching up around Girl on the Train, but Fredo just wasn't balanced, man. Good job, Fredo. I'm very pleased to see you in the top 3, in the feature presentation for the 2nd straight week. Well done. Jay Devlin, our returning champion, close but no cigar, and he put up a good fight though. He concentrated on the Girl on the Train. He went top box heavy. He got himself 3 of Girl on the Trains, which is a really solid strategy regardless. I mean, look at those points right there. I mean, the bulk of your call sheet scoring came from Girl on the Train, these top 3 actors. So he headline maxed out there and got an extra, got the cheapie of the Girl on the Train. And then he just kind of bet big on middle school. Worst years of my life. Middle school had like a really wide release, 2,800 screens. Just didn't connect like we thought it would at the box office. So it was a bit of a high variance play on his part, but an understandable one. Not a lot for families out there right now. Storks has been out for a few weeks now. This would have been a new entry for families, and it just didn't quite connect like we thought it would. MS Dhoni, The Untold Story, that actually did some box office for him as a headliner. Disha Patani. Ooh, hello. Disha did well for us this week, and also Don't Breathe actually was a fairly savvy, pick for limited release. Probably couldn't afford the Queen of Katwe, as he only had 100 left over. So if you had to satisfy a limited release category film, Don't Breathe was your cheapie option if you couldn't go up to the Queen of Katwe. And then The Dressmaker, of course, seemed to be the popular choice also if you're just trying to fill slots. Because it looked like once he spent up on the Girl on the Train, he didn't have a whole lot of budget left over to fill 10 slots. So it's a very solid strategy, Jay Devlin. Close, almost our first back-to-back champion, but let's see what you come up with next week. And then Jaybird had a really solid lineup again, and he also went for a top box strategy with the 3 Girl on the Trains. Got into Deepwater Horizon, which was prescient. I thought Deepwater Horizon would fall off a cliff, but I guess it held pretty well. And then a lot of MS Dhoni. It was cheap. It would help him fill slots with the limited budget after going, pretty heavy on his 4 wide releases. And then Don't Breathe, which looked like he couldn't pivot to Queen of Katwe, couldn't afford it, so it was the cheapie option. Maxed out his budget. Good use of your budget, Jaybird. And actually, that same call sheet, I do believe he used to win the background talent. So yeah, so good job, Jaybird. You are a winner in our books on the smaller 10-person background talent. And we'll look at one more call sheet. We'll look at mine, see the mistakes I made this week on the feature presentation. Actually, let's go live score. That's mine. So I did end up coming in 4th. Okay, I did end up coming in 4th. I'll show you what I did wrong. So basically, I tried to go a little bit fair and balanced per se, a little bit more balanced. And actually, my score actually was adjusted. To be honest with you, we actually had to end up adjusting scores in the feature presentation only because we had looked like The Age of Shadows either did not report or was suddenly pulled from the box office over the weekend. So we did do some make goods. So basically, anyone who had because as far as our scoring goes, it says in the rules that every film is guaranteed at least a point. Even if this had grossed like $1, we would have given you a full point at the platform release stage for it. So basically, I was owed 2.8 points combined because you're both headliners, the 40% bonus. So it'd be 1.40, 1.40 for 2.8 points that I'm missing. Doesn't matter because regardless, I would have come in after Jaybird anyways. But in looking at my strategy, I headline maxed on Girl on the Train. I headline maxed on Miss Peregrine's, and I got my Queen of Cotway in there. I was hoping it'd be a little stronger than what it was. And then I just, I was out of salary. I was out of salary. I kind of went stars and scrubs. So it was basically, kind of filling in with the Dressmaker, Age of Shadows, and actually more Dressmakers, really all I can afford. 600 left over in budget. Didn't quite work out. I mean, as we know, employees and family of Cinema Draft are not eligible for prizes, but I do play to win the game. Didn't quite work out this week. Hopefully one of these weeks I can actually win my own damn game. So, and just to reiterate, we did have a couple of scoring issues. Age of Shadows was pulled or did not list any results on the weekend box office. So we did automatically award people extra for those who had those listed. And also we had a scoring error in the system, whereas we did not get any reports for I Belong to You, which actually it's in there. And actually it didn't, for whatever reason, this wasn't updated. That's error on our part. Should actually be about 600,000. So we updated those to reflect accurately on the back end. It's not going to reflect on your score here in the system, but for those who were affected by prize money, I did adjust that to your balances, as well as on the listing on the Medium post, which you will be able to see, displayed graphically, who won what and how much. So sorry about the inconvenience. Hopefully we'll get this ironed out. We are still young in beta. We're working on these, but really appreciate you playing the game. Follow us on all of our social media, from Facebook all the way through subscribing to iTunes on the podcast, which you may be listening to. And if so, we appreciate that. Thanks a lot. And also make sure you know how to cash out. We have that at the bottom of our post, and we will see, or you will hear from us next time.